recorded, about an hour and 15 minutes, continuing a review of Morphew playlist videos that I'd made since, probably August. So, I'd done a review of earlier ones, including, Roots Off the Mountain, including going down to the national park, the Great Dunes, including queries about Longhorn Ranch, including Barry Morphew is not Bridge Guy, and all sorts of things. And then so I recorded a review of more recent videos, because there's about 80 in my playlist, and of recent events to do with Barry and Suzanne Morphew. And then I thought, just like my mug, fuck that shit. It gets really tiresome, and if people want to go and bother, seeing what I've said in the past about missing woman Suzanne Morphew, her husband, etc., and try and work out sort of why I say these things, then, they can do that themselves, and if they don't want to, they don't have to. I thought instead I'd show you. Now, I don't know how I can do this without just reflecting the light there. Can you see, or the phone? Can you see this? Okay, so this is, well, it's an etching using a technique from sort of 1443 or something like that. But it's a drawing. It's a drawing from, well, it's drawing of a kangaroo that was shot at the Endeavour River. So if you know any history from down under, the Endeavour is the boat, the ship that Captain Cook did a lot of exploring in, and he discovered New Zealand in the Endeavour. And this picture it's unaccredited, but it first appeared in a book in around 1793, in a book documenting another explorer's journeys, I think Governor Phillips. But, it came about by a kangaroo being shot, skinned, then the skin was sent back to England, and then in England, a taxidermist has tried to recreate the kangaroo. They've actually called it on this on this drawing. It's called the kangaroo. And they've given it a crack, haven't they? They've given it a crack. See his long tail there. So he just looks like a big rat. So it's unaccredited, so it's possibly actually a drawing by a convict in England, and because just in the style as well, and just because there's no artist's name, and that's a little bit unusual, but not unusual if it was by a convict. But and then the etching's been done, and it's been actually hand colored. It was just black and white, but isn't it interesting? Perception. This has just been done by someone working with just a skin, and with no first-hand knowledge of what a kangaroo is, what they look like. They've given it a good crack, but you can see, even if you think you've got what you need, unless you know what you're trying to create or develop or find or make, you're not going to get it right. Okay, so perception is interesting, and I just find this really fascinating example in just in human perception, and how we can see things and give things a crack and just get them wrong. But they were working with the kangaroo skin, but they didn't have the bones, they didn't have the skeleton. It's like they didn't have the foundation. You've got to get that foundation right. And this is what they ended up with, and it's a beautiful story. This is art. It is art. It has history. It has links to famous people and important times, and you know, in the history of the world. But it's not depicting a kangaroo, and it's not even called a kangaroo. They've called it a kangaroo. But it's lovely all the same. Yeah. Yeah, so instead of my more few videos, I just made some videos of the sky. We've got this beautiful, amazing, interesting sky going on at the moment, as do a few of you. I know Leanne's just uploaded really interesting sky cloud formations. Where else would they be? While she sings some Stevie Wonder. Our sky here in Brisbane is looking quite yellow, so I've battened the hatches because apparently a hailstorm's coming. I don't know what's happening right now, if we've missed it, but the sky was looking incredible. The colours so diverse, from the blacks, the greys, the purples, the pinks, the yellows, and all the different shapes. It's really beautiful. And there was thunder and lightning, but we haven't had the storm yet. But Brisbane gets so many different types of lightning. We get all at once, all in the same storm. So the beautiful sheet lightning, just the white sheets of lightning, everything to different coloured forks, different types of crackles across the sky. It's really, really beautiful. So I really hope we get this storm now. Yeah, but no, I just, I didn't want to be talking, I guess, ad nauseum about Suzanne Morphew's case, because I guess I've made so many videos on her. More recent ones, I guess. You know how people, okay, you've got Christopher Watts and his mother Cindy Watts, one of the most loathed women in all of the world. Janice Cox, scary person, also despised. So, Cindy Watts, the mother of Christopher Watts. Janice Cox, the mother of Laurie Cox. Bello, Daybell, Ryan. And then there's Mrs. Morphew. So, people like to look at these narcissists, these frightful narcissists who have committed horrendous crimes, and say, well, look at the mothers, look at the family dysfunction. Well, are you looking at Mrs. Morphew? I mean, Andrew Mormon himself says she is the most wonderful woman, sweet, salt of the earth. Anyone would want to be, in her family, have her as mother or grandmother, something like that. I'm paraphrasing, or I can't quite remember, but I know very sweet and salt of the earth. So does that fit with a narcissist murderer? I'm not sure. I don't know. That was one of the videos. Yeah. And there's a lot going on right now, isn't there, with regards... I mean, you can't help but doubt law enforcement. We all have great reason to do so, I guess, when books are snapped shut very quickly in the Christopher Watt case, when Gannon Stauch is able to be taken, his little body taken by Letitia Harding out of state to Florida under the noses of Colorado police, and you do wonder what the heck's going on. People like to say that Barry's paying people off. I mean, Barry just doesn't have that type of money. He doesn't. And okay, well, do you think maybe he's scrambling for that money? But who would he really be paying? And you were saying the police are corrupt. Now, police might very well be corrupt in Colorado. There are people on my channel that will say, look out, Colorado is a hotbed for CIA agents. And, could be very true. Yeah, it's troublesome because you question all along, okay, so great. Well, you assume, well, Barry Morphew told them exactly the hotel he stayed in, exactly where the job site was. You assume they've been there immediately. If Broomfield Police haven't gone there, well, you know, maybe the feds did, or, you know, or were the police just not interested in looking for another reason? Because are they investigating someone else? Is that, I mean, even if they've gone to Barry Morphew's home twice, maybe the second time is not to investigate him, but to find something on someone else. I mean, you just don't know. The whole thing with the bicycle shirt, why would it be a bicycle shirt if she didn't go on her bike? Are you trying to say Barry's just put that there? Why didn't the search area taken this area of Fooz's Dam? That's very weird. That is so strange. Because, you know, that's such an important area all around up to Monarch Pass. I don't understand it. You know, I don't understand how, you know, only a forensic expert should be testifying whether or not those marks are stab wounds, buckshot. Isn't it strange to have buckshot and stab wounds? I don't know. Yeah, it didn't really look like a woman's top to me, because my cycling tops, women's tops have a lot of shaping, stitching, special sort of tailoring in them, even if they're just very basic. But, you know, that colour did look like something maybe sporty that Suzanne might wear, for sure, that little top. Why it would have a dirt stain on the front. You could imagine if someone got so frightened and pooed themselves, maybe down the back, yes, if the shirt was tucked in there, you know, that could be the case, but the mark seems to be on the front. I mean, you just don't know. It is all very weird. And it's on Barry's birthday that it was found, apparently. And you know that there's been birthday presents given to Barry, let's just say, by people involved. So, I don't know. Is it a birthday present? I'm not sure. A CBI just not responding, or are we being told they're not responding, and if they really aren't responding this quickly, is the reason because they just do not like the shenanigans? Is it, you know, is it because, you know, this, I don't know, is it because they just don't want to be pushed around with this case, with stuff like that? It is weird, but at the same time, you know, who knows what view they have of people now, you know. Probably not very high regard back at us, you know. But yes, it is, you know, the main thing is it is incredibly frustrating that we don't know how law enforcement acted immediately to go down to the hotel to grab camera records. I mean, I was thinking, oh, I don't think they did that. They haven't got it. And now I'm hearing, yeah, maybe that's right. They haven't, which is deeply concerning for any reason. But, you know, it's funny, actually. One of the things I was thinking was, you know, well, I'll tell you, you know, who had this 3.5 hour window and could have gotten within 30, 40 miles? Jeffrey Puckett. You know, it's so easy to name people and to come up with people that fit whatever narrative. I mean, and I want to know why Andrew Mormon is so connected to this 4 p.m. sandwich. Well, if it happened, if it wasn't just something that a psychic told him, if it really happened, I mean, did she go to the Poncha Springs Cafe, and so that's why Barry felt he really had to go there? I mean, anyway, I said I wasn't going to get into it because I couldn't be asked, and here I am getting into it, right? It's just, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I'm still on YouTube and still uploading at the moment, just as a distraction, really. But, you know, I might not be on for a little while just because some of you know why with what's happened. And I haven't really processed it yet. So, you know, that's why I seem perfectly reasonable and normal. Well, look, so The night before last, I went and got my cat from an emergency vet. Someone had taken her up there. She'd been run over, and so she's dead. And I buried her yesterday under a jacaranda tree. And yes, there have been tears, but I'm in a lot of shock, and I have a lot of guilty feelings as well because of various things. But yeah, I mean, I can smile. I'm like this. I'm just really in a bit of a daze. Let's just say an emotional daze right now. But yeah, you know, one night she's sleeping on my head, and I'm just really annoyed at her, and she's meowing and making noise at the cat flap and running in and out and demanding food at all strange hours, and I'm growling her and feeling really bad for it now because, you know, then the next night it's her cold hard body that is with me, and now she's buried under a jacaranda tree. And yeah, so you can see Carnivore Cat, Little Autumn, you can see her in my pets playlist. And yeah, so if I don't upload, it's because I really don't feel like it being in front of the camera, and it's all just sort of hit me. I have made films talking to you about it where I was really upset, which I haven't uploaded. I thought you don't need to see that, and yeah, I'd rather not. I mean, you don't need to see me upset. You've seen me upset over all sorts of things, and probably had enough of that. So look, there's my little chat about the kangaroo and perception, and, you know, just things being made from the skin without knowledge of what you're making, giving it a good shot, but it's not real. It's not a real depiction, and it's an interpretation. Okay, it's just an interpretation. Anyway, wish you all well, and yeah, cherish the ones in your life that you love, even if they're annoying cats, because it can be very sudden that they're not there with you. So all moments are precious.